Ndoto yakanaka ndirambe but manje nando andowanzofara.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Back to Henry.
Okay, beautiful. So you are saying as a result of the recent Transfer Duty Act, the one that saw the threshold being increased from 200,000 to 1 million for the locals, it has caused an increase in demand. Is that so?
Especially that for new home buyers, it has increased the sales, because now we have more of first timers who are being interested in real estate due to the transfer duty has done not to pay that.
Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful. So maybe can you explain since the transfer duty it came more like in sort of like supporting the locals, but it was heavily sort of like criticized with the foreigners because it was also increasing the threshold of the percentage that they should pay. I don't know, what do you think with regards to the number of buyers, because since it has already sort of like eliminated the foreigners, what do you think is the implication on the demand and supply of housing in Botswana?
Looking at it in that way, I would say it has greatly affected the market when we go to the foreign part, because it's like 30% of which it's high.
Yes.
You know, but so it has affected it in a way, but it's positive to us in a way and negative in a way. But mostly, yes, we're seeing people coming in still. So I would say it has increased the demand. Looking at the people that we're dealing with, mostly are first-time home buyers. So yeah, I would say it's actually increasing the demand in that way, in that sector.
Okay,
yes.
Beautiful. No, thank you so much for that. I would also want to encourage the viewers to, if they do have any comments or questions that are directed to our expert Atarelang, that they should just post them on our WhatsApp or on our Facebook, or even as comments on this Zoom platform. So, Ms. Atarelang, I think let's move on to the second issue. I think the viewers are very much interested to know from your experience in the industry. Can you just basically comment on the most preferred method that households are using to fund the purchase of their homes? If you can just give us some basic comment on that.
On that one hand, we have mortgage. Most of our clients, they purchase their properties through mortgage. We have cash buyers as well, and we have a demand of rent to buy as well. Yes. So these three are the ones that we by far have.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Beautiful. So if you are saying mortgage, that obviously implies that it wants someone who is formally employed, who has got good credit ratings. So what do you think of that percentage of the populace that is informally employed? Let's say someone might be having a financial capability and muscle, but without the paycheck. What's your comment, or what do you think should be done to address those economic agents? Because housing is obviously a basic human right, and you don't want to leave anyone behind. What's your comment on that?
Yes, on that one, they would be we wouldn't say they're not really liable to buy property. We would say they fall under that rent to buy.
Okay.
What we're getting into, it favors them mostly because like you have that lump sum that you pay first, your deposit, of which if you're a willing buyer, we are sure that you have something saved up, the 10% that we all know of. Then in due course, you'll be paying your rent, right? So you would end up paying the remaining while you're in the house, where you can maybe will say by then you would afford to have a home loan. Okay. Yeah. So they'll be favored mostly in the rent to buy section. if the mortgage doesn't cover them up the traditional way, then we would go with the rent to buy.
Okay, that's outstanding.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yes.
Again, moving forward, can you also explain, because you keep on speaking about the rent to buy option, and I'm pretty sure that some of the people do not really understand the concept. So, in a layman's opinion or view, how can you really describe the rent to buy option in detail?
Okay. When we're talking about the rent to buy agreement, it's in which you rent a home for a certain period of time, with the option to buy it before the lease expires. Then you rent to buy. The rent to buy agreement consists of two parts. We have the standard lease agreement, which is the general one that we know of. Then we have an option to buy lease agreement. So that's what basically rent to buy is all about.
Okay.
Yes.
So it helps people to have an option to get a property. It gives people the option to get a property, um,
Mhm.
while while they are still renting in it.
So sourcing for funds. Yes,
Okay.
you
So
can. Yes.
it means at the start, one actually enters into the agreement knowing that they can end up owning the property. So
Yes.
So are there possibilities that if one fails to raise the sums required, you can end up chucking them out?
Um, that's if both teams are prepared to pay back the tenant the capital that they invested with. Yes, but if even if the tenant pulls out, you'd actually have to give them the capital that they invested it with. So it's quite possible, but it's something that we don't want to look into. Like, you have to invest in property. Why do you have to turn it down? It's property after all.
Okay.
It's a good investment. Yes.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for that clarity. I really hope that
Yes.
viewers are going to find this exciting, because as it also gives so many options to them in which how they are going to choose or select their methods they are going to use when buying their first properties. I think I still have some more questions for you. I think let's move on. I think the viewers would want to know or would want your general advice, especially for the first-time homeowners. You know how it is with Botswana. We just want a comfortable deal that will make sure that every part or everyone is going to be happy with. So I don't know what's your comment.
Okay. Buying a home can be challenging for a first timer. After all, there are so many steps involved, tasks, requirements, and you may be anxious about making an expensive mistake. So they understood. So as a first timer, you should be financially healthy. Check your savings. Check your credit status. Secondly, which type of home will suit your needs? You have to have that in place. When we're talking about your needs, you have a number of options when you purchase a residential property. Be a condo, duplex, apartment, those kind of things. You have to have an idea of what is it that exactly are you investing in. Which specific features do you want your ideal home to have? Because, mind you, you are making a purchase that is the biggest of your life. You know, it's a lifetime thing. So you have to have a clear understanding or idea of the property. That is to say, not only they should be, yes, close to your needs and wants, because it's something that you are going to own for a lifetime. So all the way down to smaller details like your bathroom layout, something like that. The kitchen fitted with durable appliances. Those are the kind of things you should take into consideration before investing. Then I would also advise them to know how much mortgage do they qualify for. You have to be pre-approved before you can approach your estate agent or anyone who would help you professionally. Make sure to get pre-approved for a loan before placing an offer on a home. That's very, very important. You have to be pre-approved before anything else. Lastly, I would say, how much can you afford? Affordability. It's very important to know how much can you afford. In deciding how long, how big a loan is, actually to take, you will want to look at the houses that cost, the house's total costs, and not just the monthly payment that you look at. You should take into consideration the total household costs before looking at the monthly payment. So affordability is very important, and stability. Thank you, Henry. Back to you.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. That was quite some really encompassing advice and discussion from Atalera. I really think that people will definitely do appreciate that, because as she has been clearly outlining some of the most important things that you need to be very much aware of the total cost of the property, and not only to look at the monthly payment that is expected of you by the banks. I'm sure everyone can agree with me that with the recent experiences postured by the COVID-19, we have seen so many people losing jobs. I think quite some funny, interesting facts that I was reading around from Forbes. They were estimating that around 42% of people who lost jobs are not going to be able to get back to those jobs even after the COVID-19. So imagine a scenario where you are expected to be paying the mortgages and you've went for something that is way, 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 way above your reach. It will really be quite challenging. Thank you so much for that, Ms. Koa, and that was very encompassing. I think let's move on to the last question that I do have before we open the floor for the questions that are coming from the viewers. So we wanted you, ma'am, to tell you that, to tell us, given that soon you know that Botswana is going to be moving from the long 6-month state of emergency that was caused in response to the COVID-19. So now the question is, how can rent to buy options be beneficial for households, generally considering buying homes? So why is it that the rent to buy option in particular is basically beneficial to the households?
Okay, thank you, Henry. It's beneficial to buyers who cannot qualify for a home loan. Can start buying. They can start buying a house through rent to buy agreement. Over time, they can work on rebuilding the credit scores and may be able to get a loan once it's finally time to buy the property. So what I'm just saying is, if you cannot afford now, you can get into it and fix your credit score while renting. Then in future, you can end up being able to acquire the property. Secondly, buyers who are committed to a home and location but are unable to buy can get into a house they eventually buy. This reduces the cost, inconveniences of moving after a few years. So I'd say it's quite, yeah, I'll touch on that one day. I'll leave it there, Henry.
Okay, that's beautiful there. Thank you so much, Ms. Koa. I think we have received a comment from one of the viewers who would like our expert, our guest, you, ma'am, to basically have a comment on change of use, moving it from a residential use to a commercial use. But maybe basically, since I'm a property professional, I can start by giving a comment, and then if you have something to change to add on to, you can then add Atalerang mem there. So
Okay.
basically, with in particular to this question, I would love to make to note to our viewers that we've got what is known as the Regional Town and Country Planning Act. So this is the act that is used when governing land use. So it means that we've got different types of properties and different types of land. We've got state land, we've got commercial property, we've got tribal lands. So originally, when they were drafting these under the local development plans, it means that every land is designated for a particular use. So there is a provision that is given by the laws in which where you are using a particular land and you want to change the use, you have to apply to the local authority. Then they gazette it, that is, they allow for your neighbors to know what you want to do, because it will obviously bring in some changes. Let's say, for example, it's a residential, and you want to change it to becoming a preschool, there's going to be some traffic impact assessment. Why? Because there will be a lot of traffic when people are coming to drop their children. So once there has been that process, it allows for deliberations until everyone is agreeing to that particular thing. Then you are issued with a certificate for change of use. So this certificate will then allow you to go ahead and carry on the particular development. So what this basically means is it has to be done with the law, with the local authorities in full agreement with what you are happening. So everything is possible, but it just allows you are required to engage a property professional who will take you through the process there. So Ms. Kowa, do you have a comment or to this particular question coming from Mr. or Ms. Gombalume Jesse, to say what advice do you have on changing land use from a moving residential that is on tribal land to a commercial property? Maybe you can give them an advice.
I believe you have fully covered it, Henry, because you talked about the Town and Country Act and the zoning, of which you basically covered the whole concept about it. So yeah, it's fine. It's covered. I feel it's fine.
You feel it's fine?
Yes, okay. Because you covered the act and the zoning area. Yes. Okay,
beautiful. So thank you so much. I generally, do you have any last comment that you would want to pass on to the viewers? Generally, maybe on housing ownership, or maybe you can take the opportunity to just say a few things about your company and also what you do and what people should expect from you.
Okay. What I would say now is I would advise people, if you can't afford a mortgage now, why wait if you have rent to buy? Invest now than later, because we have already made things simpler for you through rent to buy. So it's quite advisable to pitch into that rent to buy idea. Don't say, no, I can't qualify for a mortgage. You don't have an excuse. You don't have an excuse when it comes to property. So if you have any comments, questions, please feel free to contact our office line 3180920 or 7300217182 for your real estate charts. Well, I'll be happy to help you and my team as well. At OSC, we're property developers. We do estate management. We develop our properties in general. So if you want to purchase, your license, you can actually visit us. Yes.
Well, that was Miss Atarelang Koa there, a professional, a very beautiful professional who can give you some real sound real estate advice and solutions. She is currently the sales and admin consultant at OSC Property Developers. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us this time to come and share your experiences and through to our viewers on the Morning Table Talk Chats. Thank you so much, ma'am.
It's an honor, Henry. Till next time.
Sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think next time again, 10 a.m. will be available. We are sorry and we do apologize for the technical glitches that we had today, but certainly next Friday, we will be here discussing something interesting. Thank you so much for joining, and please do go ahead and have a lovely Friday and enjoy. Bye.
Bye.